Hello everybody, this is my 1992 naturally aspirated 7.3 F250 that has already had 3 attempted break-ins that I know about since I bought the truck. You wouldn't think somebody would be so persistent trying to steal this truck with all of its blemishes. It's got rust, holes, scratches, but these trucks are notoriously easy to steal, making them desirable targets for car thieves. The first attempt was done less than a week after I had bought the truck and brought it home. I had just come back from an off-roading trip, and overnight, in my driveway, somebody had come and pried the driver's side lock, probably with a screwdriver. And while they were unsuccessful in getting in, they did cause enough damage that I could no longer lock or unlock that door with my key. Here's the video from when I first discovered the attempted break-in. First for everything. It looks like somebody tried to break into this truck here with nothing in it. There's nothing worth breaking in for. The only thing of value is in the open bed back here, and that's my clamps, which I will now be taking inside. But I mean, really? In front of my house, too? You're just gonna drill a hole in my lock like that? Didn't even get in either, so. A few days after that first attempt, presumably the same person came back and tried to enter again. And I'm not sure what method they used because there were no obvious new marks or scratches, and they didn't leave any tools or anything. But they were able to somehow unlock the driver's door. Nothing was stolen or damaged, though. The third attempt was done shortly after I took the shell off of this truck, and that's what really prompted me to begin doing all these anti-theft measurements. I'll show you the video about when I first found out about this third attempted break-in. So, like the brilliant person I am, I locked my keys in my truck and then closed the door, and I don't have any spare. And I already knew somebody had tried to get in this way, but I was trying to figure out how to get into the truck. I come back here, and what do I see? Somebody had drilled a hole right there. I mean, it turned out to be good for me because what I did was just stick that guy on there and get my little pick. I was able to, but it pushed in, pop the latch, open this just slightly using this guy, and pop the latch out fully and slide it right on open. Just to give you an idea of how easy it is to get in through the back, this latch is the only thing that's keeping these two windows closed. So what they did is they drilled a hole through the back, right there. That's where it hits the latch. And once this latch has been popped, sometimes this side here will stick, but that's not an issue. All you have to do, slide these apart, and then from the other side with the pick, you can just pop the rest of the latch out with force, obviously. And then once that's open, you can just slide them apart and get in that way. And now obviously this isn't foolproof. They could still stick instruments in to get to that lock or to the handle or to whatever, but at least they won't be able to come in fully this way. So you'll be seeing them struggling in the bed trying to get in. So luckily I locked my keys in the truck again, and that provides the opportunity for me to show how I got in initially. Obviously this is in the way now, but I was able to pop the latch. Let's see if you could see. Popped right there. And now slide open. And obviously I can't fit in there anymore. Well, my head can, but I do have a magnet. There you go. And so I began the process of thief-proofing the truck. I'll walk you through what I have done and what I intend to do when I have the money. The first anti-theft measure I took was to install a camera, and while a camera won't stop a determined thief, it can deter a majority of them, or at least help you track them down. I went with the Arlo Pro 4. The night quality isn't great, but it's enough to get some basic details out of the criminals. I determined that the weakest link on the truck was the rear sliding windows, so I first wanted to address that. Now, I could have and probably should have just bought a headache rack, but I wanted to do something unique to my truck, so I welded together a custom rack. In total, this project ran me about $200, $35 for the rebar, $45 for the angle iron, $100 in welding wire, and about $15 in paint. It took me 17 hours to assemble, which included the shopping trips and paint drying time. But if I were to redo it, I could probably knock it down to about 12-ish hours. There were a lot of mistakes that I made. New headache racks can run for less than what I paid in materials, and it would have saved me a few days of work, but I like the results, and it's custom. So what I've done here is I've tack welded all 4 of these washers and nuts to the piece of angle iron so that if a criminal wanted to take this whole thing off, they'd at least have to grind those 2 and those 2 off. Now the 3 bolts in the back are not tack welded because they're difficult enough to reach as it is, and when it comes time for me to take the whole thing off, I don't want to have to be grinding behind there. I don't want to deal with it. It seems like a nightmare. Now, another thing I really wanted to do was install a kill switch so that if a criminal did get into my truck, they would not be able to start it, or at least they wouldn't be able to go far with it. So I got myself a kill relay, which takes the place of the IDM relay and is supposed to cut the connection to the injector drive module, thus preventing fuel injection. However, after removing the IDM relay, the truck still starts, runs, and drives perfectly fine. And I tried this with all of the other relays with the same result. So I don't know what is going on with this truck. Maybe the relay diagram is wrong, but none of the relays prevent the truck from running. So I had to find an alternative route, and I won't discuss what I did, but if a criminal did get into the car, they would not be able to start it. Now, so far, that's all I've done, but there are still plenty of other anti-theft measures that I plan on implementing. First and foremost, for example, I want a GPS chip. Just in case they bypass everything and still somehow get in, I want to be able to track where they're taking my truck. Secondly, I want some form of a door jamb to prevent the easy access that the doors provide to the cab. And there's 2 primary methods of attack here. From the top down, all you have to do is hit a button. Second method of attack, side. Straight across. Then you get this little cigarette window open here. And once you pop that open, you can just reach in and hit the buttons yourself. The third thing I want is a steering wheel lock. And if you get a good one, they can be a pain to take off. Though this is more of a deterrent than anything else. This won't stop a determined thief. Like all of the other methods, you have to combine them all to make it effective. Lastly, I would like to install some form of a hood lock. So what I want to do is have a piece of flat stock here, and then a piece of angle iron right there. They connect, a hole drilled down through the top, and then just connected with a lock. And I'll see if I could clumsily draw a picture so you could get a better visual. Will this look ugly? Absolutely. Will it deter thieves? Maybe. I haven't decided if I'll do this quite yet. And that's all. If anybody has any questions, drop a comment below. Better yet, if anybody has any suggestions, also drop a comment below. And to anybody that made it this far in the video, thank you for watching. And enjoy this last bit of driving I recorded.